This is Kevin Pruitt with Rising Tide Startups, and my guest today is Clarene Mitchell. Clarene, thanks for joining us on Rising Tide.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity. Love the name of the podcast. I think it's so apropos for entrepreneurs
Well,
that you did that on purpose,
yes, I
right?
appreciate that, and there was some thought behind that. When I started, for sure, kind of the whole vibe, whole ethos behind it. But tell Rising Tide a little bit about Clarene Mitchell.
So, Clarene Mitchell is in the greater Milwaukee area of Wisconsin. So, I'm in the Midwest. And first of all, I'm a woman of faith. I'm married, have three grown children and two grandchildren. Um, Focus of my life for the past, it seems like actually, so I said I have three grown children, and in July of 2018, and I don't think my children really understand this, but they got a sibling, that being my business. So,
Absolutely, that is another child.
right. So I really have four children, and that fourth child is not grown yet, but the owner of TCM Communications. And my business is focused on helping success driven professionals and businesses effectively use social media, more specifically LinkedIn, to effectively advance their brands.
All
And
right.
really, just even backdrop wise, I fell into the world of entrepreneurship, so to speak, where it wasn't a plotted out process or something I had a long dreamed of doing. Had an unexpected job loss back in 2017, the fall of 2016. Rocked my world professionally, unexpected, right? We never really just, expected to lose a job. And then for me, the double whammy was losing a job and having to go so long without finding another job.
Sure.
Career wise, it was always where I was able to transfer to jobs based upon a former boss pulling me or referral process, networking, and all of that. So to lose a job and then to go months and months and months without being able to secure additional employment was the double whammy part, the second part of the double whammy. And so I fell into entrepreneurship by the summer of 2017, just at my wits' end, not having options financially, had tried Ubering, had tried some other things to fill the gap. That wasn't enough. So started my business and never looked back really, where now I cannot imagine life without being an entrepreneur. Now I cannot imagine working a full-time regular real job, so to speak, although I miss those 2-week paychecks.
I
Those
bet.
scheduled paychecks,
I bet.
miss those. Counting on those, but I love being my own boss. I love being able to direct my own days and be able to work to the ceiling of my own creativity, so to speak, where the limits aren't there on me to, if I have this bright idea, which tends to be the case with me quite often, but when I have my bright ideas, I don't have environments or individuals who are stifling me, or I have to go through all these steps to get it approved and validated. I can just go with it and continue to go based upon my own energy and based upon my own direction. So that part of being an entrepreneur, I love. Not sure if that's what you were asking me for, but that's my intro.
Absolutely. What a great intro. Yeah, that's pretty comprehensive. So tell me, when exactly did you start your communications company? When did you kind of incorporate, and was
So
that in 2018 or
in July of 2017,
okay, 2017. So from
right, I lost the
2017,
job in 2016
right, right, okay.
in the summer. So in July of 2017 is when I started the business.
And so walk us through that period of time. So when you started the business, how did you get your first clients? How did you kind of market yourself, and how did you train yourself even for the job?
Train myself for the job. I'm still in the training part. I mean,
Aren't we all?
of being an entrepreneur, being my own boss, is learn as you go. I was attending job seeker networking groups, and in the process of attending those networkers, these weekly networking support groups, and you network, you get referrals from each other, and just support. After some of those groups, I was meeting with my fellow job seekers, having coffee meetings with them to give them tips on how they can effectively use LinkedIn. They were seeing and observing some of my successes or what I was doing online in LinkedIn, or I would make announcements about certain things, results that I was getting on LinkedIn. And so they were requesting time, and just the networking part and the supporting, I would meet with them. But then at a certain point, that light bulb went on in my head, like, instead of just getting coffee or tea, well, I don't drink coffee, I could get paid for doing this, you know. So that's really was the birth of the business. And my first client came through me, really. And so even my background prior to losing my job or starting my business, my background, public relations and print journalism. And so having that communications and marketing, I'm good at that. So being able to promote my business on LinkedIn, that helped. But also, so my first client came from networking or promoting what I do on Facebook. So a part of a Facebook group for women, and that's how I got my first client, and then clients from different sources after that.
So are most of your clients, are they individuals? Are they small companies, or is it a kind of a mixed bag? Or how would you describe your ideal clients?
It's a mixture, because I do one-on-one coaching, but I do have clients as well. So I have corporate clients, and then I have workforce development educational clients, educational institutions as clients. And so it's a mixture of that. Many of my clients on the individual level are entrepreneurs themselves. So helping them learn how to optimize their LinkedIn profiles and leverage them for their businesses. And then so when I'm working with, let's say, my corporate clients, it's all about helping the staff, the employees, become brand ambassadors for those companies. So using LinkedIn in a different way where they can be further arms of the company's marketing team is a different approach, because a lot of people still see LinkedIn is just for job seekers, just for recruiters, but it's so much more than that. So really from a brand ambassador perspective, and that approach is increasing. And then so for job seekers, when I'm working with my educational institutions, it's really teaching them from the traditional job seeker perspective, how to create their profiles and connect with available job opportunities via LinkedIn. So my audience, because I'm a startup entrepreneur, varies, and because I take work from pretty much wherever it comes from. But ideally, I really do appreciate my corporate clients and have room full of brilliant professionals and get them to a point of seeing LinkedIn totally different. And then watching them after my trainings and seeing how then they're taking the strategies I shared with them and using them effectively on LinkedIn to shine online, as my business slogan is.
What do you prefer to do? Do you prefer to work with the corporate clients? You prefer to do the one-on-one? I mean, you've been in a little, long enough to kind of have I'm going to trap you with that question. You know that because somebody's going to listen and go, "Oh, you said I wasn't your favorite. I thought I was your favorite."
They're all my favorite, right?
Good answer. There you go.
I'm smart with that. They're all of them are my favorites.
The one that pays the bills on time is my favorite.
Yes, the checks are clear.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So you and I are stepping on an elevator. We're going to go up 10 floors. You got about a minute. Give me your elevator pitch of the business itself, like how you could help me as a potential client.
This is 2020, right? And we're in a highly digital era, and it behooves everyone to effectively use social media to be able to advance their brands. Quite often, people specifically with LinkedIn feel intimidated by the platform or have the perspective that once they create their profiles, then they're done. But it's so much more to being able to get results from LinkedIn than just creating your profile. And so I work with individuals to help them feel less intimidated by the profile, understand by the platform, understand the platform, and learn how to leverage it so they can shine online and get results. So if you know someone who could benefit from that, I would be the person to help them to be able to level up their online presence. And again, it's 2020. Digital is taking over. Whether we want to embrace it or not, it's pretty much almost we don't have an option. is almost where if we don't, we're almost like Waldo's, where we're Waldo, if you remember, I'm kind of dating myself, but Waldo's coming back. But you can't be out of sight, because if you're out of sight, you're out of mind. And in this era, it's risky to be out of mind.
What a great way to end. I mean, out of sight, out of mind. That is so true. That is so very, very true. So walk me through like a typical day. You get up in the morning, you get ready, you've got your kids are gone except for that last kid that's still hanging around called a job. My wife would say she has 5 kids and one of those is me. So
Now,
how do you know
now, you
what's a
trying to get me in
typical
trouble to get me in that trap. Okay.
tell me a typical day. Walk me through it.
So typical day, if I don't have clients, my typical day, even before I get up and eat breakfast, I get my cup of hot tea and I'm at my computer. So people can always anticipate getting some fresh content from me on LinkedIn right away each morning. So it's all about educating the public of how they can continue to expand their brands. So I'm doing that. I'm networking. I'm looking strategically on my LinkedIn profile to see who's viewed my profile in the last 24 hours to see if there's some warm leads for me, and sending messages out to those individuals. I'm engaging with others, especially so going back to my favorites, whoever is ever in any of my LinkedIn trainings, they're forever my students. So I'm always supporting them. So they're priority to me. Whenever I see any of their content, I'm always engaging right away to help boost them up. That way my network then is exposed to their content and they're able to get that support. So I'm going through and doing my routine. I do ghost some accounts for clients. So meaning I have some LinkedIn accounts where I create their consistent content for them, because some people, they're busy. Too
Sure.
busy, but understand the value of consistent content
Yeah.
with LinkedIn. So then I go to my accounts that I create content for. And so I'm putting out fresh content for them. I do that plotting out in advance, but also making sure that it's relevant. So I'm not one of those who is dependent on automated systems. I'd rather let things be more organic so that they become more relevant to people and resonate with people. And so I go through that process if I don't have any training scheduled. And that ends up kind of dictating the rest of the day, because things then happen, it snowballs from there. If I have trainings, then hey, those are the days I love the most. So it's doing the double check on the training suitcase, and then hitting the road and going to the client and getting there and setting up and having fun for me and teaching others how to use LinkedIn. I do workshops versus necessarily presentations. I do presentations if that's the request, but specifically I prefer workshops, because then people are able to put into practice what I'm giving them as in reference to strategy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Otherwise, quite often, if we hear in just the presentation mode and we go away and we get busy with our lives, then we forget, or we don't fully understand, and then we're less likely to put it into practice. So I do the workshops, and then that way people see progress right from the beginning. By the time they leave the room, they've already, leveled up their LinkedIn presence a whole lot.
Got their laptop right there. They can put the changes into effect that you're mentioning kind of on the fly. So
I walk them through that process.
With LinkedIn, so normally if you just have like the normal free account, you can't necessarily see who's viewed your profile, correct? Do you have to have a pro account, or what are the levels of LinkedIn or what would you suggest people have with LinkedIn? What would you suggest?
Right. So there's a free level that's available for everyone,
right,
where everyone can get benefit from even just having the free level. But specifically, especially if individuals are entrepreneurs, I encourage them to have the premium level. And so that's for, their sales navigator level and higher, level for, businesses, but even just at the entrepreneur level. So I have premium. And when my premium account expired, I was miserable. And so I had to quickly get the funds together to renew it. Just as you said, Kevin, when you don't have premium, you only see maybe one or two people who viewed your profile. When you have premium, the list goes on and on and on, and it goes into different categories. So that's one of the biggest benefits to me especially as an entrepreneur, because again, those are some warm leads for me.
Right. Exactly.
Is being able to see, because even when I send the message, is the connection invite is thank you for recently taking time to view my profile.
No doubt. Yeah. It's a
I
warm
welcome the
connection. That's
opportunity
right.
to add you to my network. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to provide you assistance. But they're warm leads.
Yeah.
So having the access to who's viewed my profile, but also, and I think when I looked at yours, Kevin, you had premium because I saw a badge. I'm almost certain if I'm remembering right. But you get the golden badge for when you have the premium. So it gives a level of distinction also when people know the difference between the badge there. Also, you're able to send more direct messages to
Right.
people,
Right.
especially the in-mail
Yeah.
messages for people who are outside of your immediate network. So that's
Right.
another benefit to having the premium of LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest features for having premium is access to LinkedIn Learning. And so when you have premium, you have access to LinkedIn Learning. They have thousands. I think the last count was 5,000 plus courses that you can take online for free. These are high level, very detailed courses that you can take by experts in their fields. And it covers whatever topic you would be interested in or area of work. There's courses for you on LinkedIn, and you get certificates. And so you go through the process of going through the training. There's quizzes that they give you for each of the modules, and at the end, you get a certificate that gets populated into your profile. Or you can download it and have an actual certificate that you can include for other purposes.
What a great idea.
So
What a great idea.
premium
Yeah.
is phenomenal.
You're hacking your
It's a
education
phenomenal.
together there. Yeah. Wow. That is, you've given us kind of a little mini class on LinkedIn. It's kind of a freebie that you gave us there for. See how I sucked that out of you? You didn't even know it was happening. I was just trying to draw up
you
free
have
information
magic.
out of get a freebie. So yeah, that was really good. What a great segue. Speaking of LinkedIn Learning, this is the time in the interview where I just step away and step off to the side and let you become the professor. And this is called the Rising Tide Startup School. And it's a little short segment we do kind of near the end of our chats. But I'm just curious, like you've started your business recently, so within the last 3 or 4 years.
Yes.
So walk somebody through that is just thinking about starting or is just about to get started or just has gotten started. What are 2 or 3 really foundational steps that they have to take to really be successful when they're kind of launching their startup? Just really curious what you would tell them.
Oh, especially if it's not a planned process, as much as you can, if you can plan that out. But the biggest one is being fully committed to the process of you being an entrepreneur. Because if you're not fully committed to it, when other opportunities come up, whether it's a perfect job you see or someone else, think you're perfect for a job, the temptation, because again, we don't have those 2-week paychecks, will be hard for you to, if you're not grounded in your belief in yourself and your ability to make it successful. So having the grounding and belief in yourself that, okay, this is who I am and this is what I'm going to do, not relying on others to make things happen for you, making things happen for yourself. So opening your own doors, creating your own seat at the table, your own opportunities, as opposed to you have to go out and hustle. One of the things I struggle with the most, true confession time, is cold calls, sales calls, but it's a must do. So being able to get into that habit, that routine right from the beginning, because again, the phone, just because, as the old saying goes, you put the shingle up and business is going to open up. It doesn't happen like that. Especially if you have a service-oriented kind of business like mine, and you don't have products you're selling, you have to get out there and knock on the doors. You have to get out there and not just be calling people or sending emails. You have to get out there and knock on the doors and do it repeatedly. So having that as a routine right from the beginning. For me, I have to actually put it on my calendar. And I have to hold myself accountable to that, and reward yourself, your wins. So when you have your wins, no matter how big or how, small those wins are, making sure you're celebrating those wins because they help to boost you along and to get you going to the next level that you need to go because it's a constant process, right? And so when you have yourself grounded in being able to know, okay, I'm making progress because last year or last month I was there, but I'm moving forward. I'm, getting to another level. You see your progress, and that helps you to push forward.
I'm curious, if you were starting it again tomorrow, what would you do? What business would you start?
Oh, this one. I love it. Oh my goodness. I was like, well, it took me so long. I love what I do. It wouldn't be anything else. Actually, so when I first started my business, TCM Communications, it was more broad public relations business, but I got into the niche of just focusing more specifically on LinkedIn because there's a gap. Every day as I see, and I'm going on people's LinkedIn profiles and I see, and the more people that I have in my training and the light bulbs that go off with them or them telling me, wow, I've been on LinkedIn forever and I never knew this or that, or, that this was possible. Just seeing that gap that's there and people just really undervaluing LinkedIn as a whole, but the world of opportunity that's there when people get that curtain, open and they're able to understand it. So it would still be me doing this. This is what I want to do the rest of my professional life.
I love it. I mean, you certainly found what lights you up and what gets you out of bed in the morning, and you. I mean,
yes.
You have to be, because if you're going to have another child, you better be all in. That
Right.
is exactly right. You better be all in. Clarene, is there anything that we have not touched on? Anything you want to kind of wrap us up with, and then tell people where the best place to find you online?
Okay, so the
I'm guessing it's
biggest
LinkedIn.
is social media, right? And I don't understand this still. Kevin, maybe you can help me. How people, they automatically know to create content on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever other platform, whichever one is their favorite. Snapchat, people are making posts, right? But when it comes to LinkedIn, people just somehow don't understand the importance of it. And I say in my training, LinkedIn, your content is your gas to get you the results. And so, the saying, LinkedIn, content is king, but I really look at it as the gas that really allows you to get the results. You have to have the solid profile. You have to have the connections, right? But it's that gas that's really going to make the difference where people start to understand who you are as a subject matter expert. When people log on to LinkedIn, they see my content. Then when they need someone that does what I do, they're going to think of me automatically, hopefully, because my content is always there. But if you're a Waldo and you're out of sight, out of mind, people are not going to think to connect with you. So
Right.
The biggest thing, Kevin, is LinkedIn is free unless you get the premium levels. So why not leverage it? Why not take advantage of it? Especially for entrepreneurs, you can have a LinkedIn company page. That's free marketing. Why not take advantage of it?
Yep. What a great way to wrap us up. You got to let us know where people can find you.
People can find me on LinkedIn, as long as they spell my name right, Clarene Mitchell. And I'm on all social media platforms as well, TCM Comms. But LinkedIn is the best place to catch me and to stay up to date. The TCM Communications company page as well. I put exclusive LinkedIn information there. Best way to find me, connect with me on LinkedIn. So you can
we will certainly put those in the show notes for you, and I encourage people to look you up. And we don't have very many LinkedIn experts on the podcast, so she's in rare air here. So it's time to hit her up for some business, and we want to see as she's done her part tonight and just playing her part in helping all boats rise in a rising tide. Clarene, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Kevin.